Someone sent me this video about his encounter with a wild injured bird that is on the ground. He told me he almost stepped on the bird, but thankfully he noticed the bird, and that's when he took this video. Now there are a lot of lessons to learn from this one. Your legal obligations, about your moral obligation, about what to do, and wild bears' behavior to protect themselves, about having a plan in your mind if you ever encounter this situation. Let's see the video together while I walk you through what's going on, and then we'll talk about what lessons we can learn from this one. So the video starts when he backed off and started filming the bird. Then he went to the ATM and decided to record while he was walking back to the bird. You will see that he got distracted for a couple of seconds. I will explain to you why when we go through what's going on in more details. And finally, the last close-up clip of the bird. Now the person who sent me this video asked me to stay anonymous because he didn't know what to do with that bird and felt really bad about it. So he sent me this video in case he ever encounters this situation again, and maybe others can learn about what to do in a such situation. What you need to know is that you have to assess the situation first. Why is this bird on the ground? We know birds don't go on the ground and stay there if someone approached them, unless they are used to people, which 99% of wild birds prefer to take off the second someone approached them. Which means this bird is injured, and now we need to know what to do with an injured wild bird. First thing we need to look for is this bird in need. What signs are there that show us that the bird needs our help? 1. On the ground, not moving. 2. Does not fly away when approached. 3. Extremely fluffed up feathers. 4. Eyes closed. Is any part of its body swollen? Is it bleeding or having any evidence of blood or wounds? 5. Obvious injured limb, dangling leg, hanging wing, or if its wings not symmetrical. 6. Tries to fly but it actually can't. Now with these in mind, you need also to wait a bit. Maybe this bird flew right into a window and need a couple of minutes to revive and take off. Or maybe this is a baby bird, in which case it is still learning to fly and simply fell off its nest, and you need to put it back in the nest. Now for our bird, we can see a lot of the signs of an injured bird. First, he is on the ground not moving. Second, does not fly away when approached. And third, its dangling legs another worrying sign. Which brings us to our legal obligation. In most countries, there are absolutely no legal obligation for you to intervene. And also in most countries, if you saved a wildlife, including wild birds, you can't keep the bird in your house. Actually, it is illegal to keep a wild bird in your house. But as far as I know, there is no law preventing you from helping a wild bird in need. Which brings us to our moral obligation. I feel like most of us budgie lovers have a passion for birds in general, and not only for parrots. And we really feel sympathy towards any bird in need, if not all animals. So I feel like I wouldn't be able to sleep if I don't help a bird that's probably gonna die if I don't give it assistance. My moral wouldn't let me leave the bird. Now let's see how can we help this bird, which is probably why you are here. As I said before, you need to wait a little bit. Maybe the bird can get up on its own and fly away. However, if it didn't, and we can clearly see from this video, the bird did not get up, which means it definitely is in need of our help. Now before we talk about how you can approach the bird, you can try to call a rehabilitation center so they know how to deal with an injured bird. Otherwise, these small birds, if approached by you, can easily die from shock. So actually, it is not as easy as you handle your pet birds. If you couldn't contact any rehabilitator and no one can help the bird other than you, then I would say it is okay to take the risk and try to help the bird, since otherwise it will still die if you haven't intervened. Now what is amazing about this video, and the one who sent me the video didn't even know, it is clearly show how wild birds try and protect themselves. First, if you remember, he said he almost stepped on the bird, and that is actually one of the things birds do to protect themselves. Birds are prey animals, so they try to stay quiet and motionless, especially if they are on the ground and can't fly, so predators don't see them. And as you see in the video, when he did notice the bird, and when he came really close to the bird, you can see that the bird started to scream and opening its beak in an attempt to scare the predator. And what is even more amazing, I believe these two birds in the sky are the parents of this one. And when the bird started to scream, that's when you see the cameraman got distracted, because the parents started to chirp as well, in an effort of averting our cameraman to their attention, so he would leave the one on the ground. They don't know his intentions, and they try as hard as they can to protect their offspring. Let me slow down this video and look how they act, as if they want to attack, by heading straight down at him, and then fly away. Maybe he would leave the chick and get distracted. I just wanted to mention that because it is amazing how parents try to protect their children even when they know they can't fight the predator away. It just blows my mind how creative they can get in trying to get the predator to leave their offspring. Now finally, here's how we can help this bird. First, you need to keep yourself safe, especially if you don't know what type of bird you are dealing with. So wear gloves, and then you need to catch the bird. Small birds like this one, they are easy to hold in one hand. The head of the bird needs to lie between your index finger and your middle finger. Try to keep its legs in your palm and not dangling, and the rest of your hand should naturally wrap around its wings. Then find a shoebox or anything of that size, make some air holes in it, and put some tissues or something that can make the bird feels more comfortable. The shoebox is great because it also makes it dark, and this way the bird will be more comfortable and reduce its stress. And finally, try to give it some sort of heat source, maybe a warm bottle that can keep the bird warm. However, the bird can still move away from it if it didn't want the heat. And the last thing I wouldn't recommend you to do is offering the bird food or water without having an expert checking on the bird first. So your next stop is contacting an avian vet, a rehabilitation center, animal control, I don't know, anyone who can have a better look at the bird than you. Hopefully this was helpful, and now you know what to do if you ever encounter such situation. And if you do have a video you want to send me, please contact me on any of my social media, and we will discuss it in future episodes so others can learn as well.